Hello and welcome to Video Revealed. I'm Colin Smith. Let's talk about hiding music cuts with crossfades. I was contacted by someone who had two clips of music and they were trying to blend them together and they just weren't getting them right. You could hear a little jump. I'm going to show you how I did it in Audition for her, but then I'll also show you how you can do the same thing in Premiere Pro, just a little bit different. The music that I'm using is Our House is on Fire by Vendredi. There's links in the description. It's used with Creative Commons license, so you can download this yourself, try it out. Okay, so let's try this first in Audition. And if you right-click on the play control, you can turn on Return Playhead to start position. A lot of times if I'm trying to tweak something, I don't want to manually have to rewind and keep playing. So every time I hit stop and then start again, it's going to jump back to that place. So let's listen to this.
We must reject racism.
So you hear a little jump in there. Let's hear it again.
We must reject racism.
Okay, so to zoom in at the top, if you just move your mouse into this area and use your scroll wheel, we can zoom into this area and then reposition it. Another good thing to try out is looping a section. So I'm going to try to find the beginning of the beat here. Right there. So you can see that waveform. I'll tap the I key for in.
We must reject racism.
And right there is about the end. So I'll tap the O key for out. And then down at the bottom, I've got loop turned on. So now it's going to loop around that selection. And I can move the tracks while it's looping.
We must reject racism. We must reject racism.
I'll zoom in a bit more.
We must reject racism.
I'll grab this clip.
We must reject racism. 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 We must reject racism.
I can change this loop point, drag that back.
We must reject racism. We must reject racism.
So I'm listening to that constant beat. I want to make sure that that gap is gone. And I just had to nudge that over a little bit and I'm back in the beat. The one thing that automatically happened is by default, Audition will crossfade two clips. And you can see that right here. Let me just clear the in and out so we can see this easier. I'll zoom in and you can see those two yellow lines are fading in and fading out. And that's why it blends seamlessly. If you move these around, you'll see that the crossfade just follows the clips. So I don't have to add a crossfade. It's carefully dissolving one sound into another sound. So it works perfectly. I'll show you where that is in the Edit menu on Windows, the Audition menu on the Mac, Preferences, and it's all the way down to Multi-Track Clips. And it's right there, automatically crossfade overlapping clips. It's on by default, and it just crossfades that easily. So from here, I just exported it out. I should show you how to get things into the multi-track. This is the multi-track, not the, this is typically what people will see in Audition is the sample editor, but this is a multi-track here. That's the difference. All you have to do to put something in the multi-track, I'll get rid of this, is select the clips that you want. Just right-click and choose Insert into Multi-Track, New Multi-Track Session, and then you name it, pick the settings for what that is. You can also pick a template. I don't want to. I'll just click OK. The next thing, because I've got more than one clip, Audition wants to know if I want these in the same track or each file on its own track. I want them on the same track, so they're on the same track. Right? Easy way. Take your clips and now put them in a multi-track. And then to get that out, File, Export, Multi-track mixdown, entire session, and then you pick the formats there. You do have to render this out, and then you would render this out as a WAV or an AIFF or an MP3. Now let's go have a look at doing this in Premiere Pro. So here's the same two clips.
We must reject racist.
And with Premiere Pro, if we zoom in, you can see the little triangles right there. So there's the triangle, there's the triangle. You can actually see where the ends of the clips are. So when I got this from her, this is again what it sounded like.
Reject racist.
You can hear that little gap.
Reject racist.
Now I can't do the same thing as Audition. I can't automatically play, but I can loop.
We must reject.
So right there,
We must reject racist.
and right there, O. And there's a loop button here. If you don't see the loop button, click on the button editor. You'll see it there, drag it out into here, and it will stay there. Now I'm going to loop between those two spots.
We must reject racist. We must reject racist. We must reject racist.
Okay, and I happen to already figure that one out here. I added a marker in there, but it's just that much of a difference to loop that.
We must reject racist. We must reject racist.
So interesting that the loop, the in and out point can't be changed while I'm playing.
Racist. We must.
So in Audition, I could change the in and out points of that loop and it would update the next time it went around. In Premiere Pro, it's not as smart. So you have to stop, change the in and out points. Okay, so right now there is no crossfade. I think it sounds okay.
We must reject racist.
But if we do want to put a crossfade on that, typically if you select the edit point, and if I just click on this with the edit tool, it makes a selection here, Control-Shift-D on Windows, Command-Shift-D on Mac, and it adds a crossfade. And you might be worried that the crossfade looks like it's only happening on the right side. If I select it in the effects controls, you'll see that's where it's occurring. And you can see it's actually occurring on both sides. So that's the end of this clip. That's the beginning of that clip. It is in the middle. If you want to change this here, start at cut to center at cut, then you'll see what happens. And sometimes it gets, there we go. Sometimes it gets a little finicky to see that. You'll see these lines, this hatching pattern here. And that's telling you there's no more of the clip on the right-hand side. That triangle is showing you where this clip ends. You can't put it at center to cut because there's nothing there. Remember, we're at the end of the clip. That's why it smartly puts it at the start at cut. That's the right place to put it. You can't force it in there because a dissolve has to have something to dissolve from, to dissolve to. And the end of the clip is there. Although this looks wrong here, it's actually right. It's over on the right side, but it's actually fading them in. So now let's listen to this.
We must reject racist. We must reject racist.
That's it. And one other thing I want to show you in Premiere Pro is being able to move things beyond a frame, because Premiere Pro by default works at frames. So 30 frames a second. As you're moving audio files, they'll jump to those positions. But if you click in the little flyout menu, you can show audio time units. And what that means is I can zoom past frames. I can zoom to the sample level. So I can be very, very effective at how close. Now I'm moving this at the tiniest amounts that's beyond just a frame. If we go back and turn this off, show audio units, you notice that we zoom out and now I can only move this one frame at a time. So if you are having trouble aligning clips in Premiere Pro, turn on the audio units, and now you can move it at the tiniest level, something that digital audio workstations just do naturally. They don't restrict you to frames. But got to remember to go put that back on, because you might be going crazy sometimes when you're trying to move the playhead for a video edit that has to work in frames. So there you go. That's how you can hide these cuts between two clips of music with a little bit of a crossfade, cross dissolve, and no one can tell where that is. I do this in my show every single week because the outro music that plays, I actually wrote a longer piece of music and then I just cut it at a certain point, blend the two, instead of having to rewrite a new piece of music, because it has an intro and it has an end and a middle, and it's not always the same amount. So I cut it and you probably never even heard that. Hey, if you're new to Video Revealed and you found this informative, please take a moment and subscribe. You want to support us some more? You can do that through PayPal. There's a link in the description and one on the front of the channel. We thank our wonderful PayPal donors. All right, so just like this tutorial I got from someone requesting it, join us over on Facebook. It's the easiest way to add your requests. Let us know the things you're having trouble with, the tutorials that you'd like to learn, and I'll get to work on creating one for you. Till next time, I'm Colin Smith, and it's my job to listen to you and create these wonderful tutorials.